Hi folks, I got a bit of a cool train video for you to watch. I'm going to first show you a piece of my HO scale collection. As you can see, I have here on this table. And then once I'm done explaining what we have here, then we're going to go over and visit my friend's HO scale layout. That's part of his club, the Northern Lights Model Railroad Club in Anchorage. They house the Alaska Northern Railway, a beautiful HO scale railroad that runs around the walls of a building that's located at the Russian Jack Springs Park in Anchorage. Recently I visited the club and I brought a few pieces to run on that layout. The layout, as the name represents, is based on it's proto-freelance of a railroad in Alaska, if you will. It kind of gives one an idea on maybe the terrain and what it would be if there was a connecting railroad into Canada. At least that's what one could say with the legend. So I brought this train down there, and I was going to give a little bit of a technical segment on what the train is that I was going to be showing, but my friend and I just were so into running the trains and just having a good old time that I didn't make the video, or at least I should say that segment for the video. So I'm making this segment now and giving you the details on the train that I used. Okay, well, we'll start with the prize, the main prize here, the locomotive. And what we have here is a beautiful model of Alaska Railroad. Whoops, as I got a car running away. Alaska Railroad 557. And just a real quick bit of information if you're not familiar with Alaska Railroad 557. 557 was built by Baldwin Locomotive Works, 1943. She's an S160. USATC S160 was also Alaska Railroad steam locomotive in service. And in some past videos, I've done a few videos on 557, as well as I've volunteered there in the past. So anyway, this is a ROCO model. ROCO is in the German company, ROCO, that they make some cool things. And they had a USATC S160 that they released a few years ago. They did not have an American version. They had a few European versions, and a gentleman who was an engineer in the Army at Fort Eustis Railroad, where they have a military railroad, and they do training around trains and all that good stuff. And they had a S160 that he operated for a period, and then he has now modeled a couple different S160s. Well, he did this one. I am not the original builder nor purchaser. He's the one that got the model and kit bashed it and made it into 557. And this model represents 557 as it would be after restoration, as evident with the oil bunker instead of coal. I've purchased this from the original builder named Ronald a few years ago. I can't remember when exactly. I got a few things I'd like to do to it detail-wise. Do a little touch-up painting. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep it oil or if I'm going to possibly backdate it to coal. I haven't decided. This is a sound and DCC equipped model. It's also a tender powered locomotive, which means this is where the drive mechanism is. It is not in the locomotive. There were 2,120 USATC S160s built, if you can believe that. Largest mass-produced single design ever made. and Roco had a few different versions of all those S-160s. Most of them were sent overseas as they were built for the war effort. They have low profile bodies and design, which means they can go through tunnels and tight places that European trains like to run through. So this is my 557 model here. And then the rolling stock that I have here present, these are old Athearn heavyweights, and these were custom painted. I did not paint them. I purchased them off of the Bay of E a couple years ago, and these are part of what I like to call my presentation train. Sometimes I go to places and I give talks about history with the railroad, say I'll do a speech, do a presentation on Matanuska Branch, or some other presentation on the history of the railroad, or things along that nature. And I will bring these cars along with a locomotive with me to help tell the story, and it represents Alaska Railroad back in the 40s and 50s. This design, this paint scheme came out in 1947. These cars aren't 100% accurate. They're old Athearn heavyweights, as I said, and they don't particularly match anything that the Alaska Railroad ever had, nor the numbers. The only thing that really is close that you could say is this RPO car, because we did have RPO bag cars on Alaska Railroad at one point in time. But these are really good models to represent what you would have seen all those years ago. I am going to do a few little repairs and some touch-up paint and give them a little bit of a detail. And I do have an FP7 that I'm going to be obtaining here soon that will match these as well. Decals are old Walthers. They're made by Walthers, good God, long time ago. So it's safe to say that these cars were custom painted quite a while back. And then the last here, I'm going to be very careful with. Just going to show like this and then put it back on the table. This is an overland brass model of a PC&F, Pacific Car and Foundry, Alaska Railroad caboose. This is the 1075. Overland made this, probably almost 20 years ago now. This is all handmade. Overland did quite a few pieces of Alaska Railroad, from cabooses. I believe they did all of this type of caboose from as delivered to retirement, as well as they did the wide vision and the Canadian national cabooses that are here. 1075 does exist still today. It is actually next to the, it's in a construction yard near the Anchorage jail, if you can believe that. It's pretty funny. It's near where there's some bail bondsmen, and 1075 is not in the best shape, and last I knew was for sale. So anyway, that's pretty much what I have here in this little collection of Alaska Railroad goodies. And you're going to see 557 pulling my little passenger train consist here and a caboose, as well as a freight train. And the freight train was not mine. It was the club's train with my locomotive and caboose. So I hope that you enjoy my little visit to Northern Lights Model Railroad Club and enjoy my train here. Thanks for watching.
there.